today. Today, I want to talk to you about what is visioneering. Hi, I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield, fifth generation metaphysician, coach, teacher, speaker, author, you name it, right? So let's talk about what is visioneering. Some people use the term like I do, some people use different terms. To me, visioneering is the marriage of several things, our humanity and our spirituality, metaphysics, and actual organized planning. It's those steps we take, right? Every single day, those little baby steps to create what it is we want to create. So, visioneering, what do? We hold the vision, we set our intentions, we hold the vision, we do visioning meditations, we do all of the metaphysical stuff, right? And then on top of that, we add the practical. My husband, who is a field service engineer, is like, you don't go from nothing to a jet engine without putting the pieces together step by step by step by step. You can't just go from one end to the other and have a jet engine that's completed and functional, right? Which we're all grateful for, right? Because when we do get on planes, we like the engines to work. So, but then at the same time, when we're trying to change and create our lives, we have to use the visioning side of visioneering, which is the metaphysics, which is our spirituality, which is all of those things. So when you combine the two, it's when the magic happens. It's when the manifestation happens. It's when spirit comes in and says, I noticed you did baby step 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come in and do something, and you get to jump to step 15. That is the key. The absolute key to creating anything is when we marry the spirituality and the metaphysics with the organized planning and action. When we do that, excuse me, cottonwood's been flying here in Texas, and my allergies and sinus cavities do not like it. So I'm sorry I coughed. But when we do marry those two things together very, very specifically, and we get to know what our why is, why do we want to create this? We hold that vision in our minds. We meditate on having that already manifested in our life. We can feel it, we can taste it, we can smell it, we can, whatever it is. And then we sit down and you say, okay, this is the end goal, right? This is where I am. What needs to happen that I know of? Because there will be things that you will not know of in the process of creating that dream. But what is it that I know of that needs to happen? Okay, so you brainstorm. Maybe you have a coach, maybe you have a friend, a spouse, a child, whoever that you brainstorm with. Or maybe you're brainstorming all by yourself. It doesn't matter. But you brainstorm those things. And then you kind of see, what order do you think they need to go in? And so you kind of organize them, you put them in the order that you think they need to go in. And then you say, okay, the first thing on this list, what do I need to do to accomplish that? And you break it down and you break it down. And then you have these little bitty baby steps when you're doing your metaphysical spiritual work, and you have the little baby steps that you've reversed engineered from your main why and your main goal. You have this perfect marriage that anything you set your mind to, pretty much you can do. And I say pretty much because there are laws of physics. We do have gravity on the earth, right? So chances of me being able to flap my arms fast enough for this body to fly like a bird isn't really realistic, right? But for me to create a business, for my husband and I to travel, or to be able, let's say we decided we wanted a new car, or we wanted to do something special for a day or something, whatever it is that we want to manifest, this is what we do. And it works every single time. And those things that have happened in your life that you're like, why in the world did those happen? I was trying and trying and trying and trying. Chances are you were focused on either one half of the equation or the other, and you weren't bringing them together. And that's why I call it visioneering, because when we bring those two things together, magic happens. Just like with the law of attraction, it has the word action in it. You have to get up off your couch, stop looking at the vision board for a few minutes, and do something towards your goal, towards your dream. Because if you just sit back, excuse me, on your couch, doing nothing but staring at a vision board, dreaming of this grand new house, they're going to come take the house you're in away. So you can't just throw your hands up and say, okay, I've got my vision board here. I'm going to stare at it and everything's going to go poof. Doesn't work that way. Spirit wants to see that you're invested in this, that you're absolutely invested in your dreams, that you're invested in your why, you're invested in changing, because most people are afraid of change and they will balk as soon as you say, we need to change something up here. Most people want things to happen like a magic pill. Oh, you take this magic pill and poof, you'll be skinny, you'll be healthy, you can eat anything you want, you'll never have any disease, you'll never gain weight. That magic pill doesn't exist for a reason. And that reason is you want to lose 100 pounds, do the visioning, but do the action work. And the action work doesn't mean you have to go and join CrossFit and yoga and go vegan and everything else. It means what are the right next steps for you? Just like with diet, there is not one plan that fits all. And that's why when you reverse engineer anything, you have to do the right steps for you. Because if you sit back and you say, well, Susie did it this way and it worked for her, then that must be the way I have to do it. Well, it worked for Susie, but it may not work for you. And that's why you do have to do the steps and reverse engineer for you what works best for you. If you know, I'm 50, chances of me becoming a triathlete, especially since I have no desire to become a triathlete, are very slim. But if I said I wanted to lose weight and Susie became a triathlete and that's how she lost weight, what are the chances I'm going to stick with doing my daily baby steps if I think the only way to do it is to become a triathlete? Very, very low, right? Hi, Vicki. You said don't let the test of your faith discourage you. Exactly. You are tested along the way. Are you serious about this? Is this really what you want? Because sometimes things don't go as you thought they should go. But you know what? Spirit can see a little bit better of the big picture than we can. And a lot of times when we think, oh my gosh, it's got to go this certain way. Oh my gosh, you have to do this. Spirit comes in and says, you know what? I got a better idea. Why don't we do this instead? And we call those our unanswered prayers, right? Oh, thank goodness, right? I didn't marry that guy, or oh, thank goodness I didn't take that job, right? Or whatever it is. But at the time, we thought that is what we wanted. That was the be all end all, right? But Spirit came in and said, we have something better for you. So you always have to be open for Spirit coming in and saying, we have something better for you. Yeah, staying off carbs and sugars, right? Carbs and sugars. I don't have a problem with sugar. I'm allergic to it. So I don't eat sugar at all. If I sweeten anything at all, I use a little bit of stevia and that's it. Because stevia's, and I think it's monk fruit, are the two that will not raise your insulin levels. And oh yes, all the time forces will to discourage and keep going and find the way to make it work. Absolutely. And you're 68 and triathlon. Triathlon. Good for you, Vicki. That's awesome. I'm rooting you on. You're going to do this and you're going to be awesome at it. We listen to our intuition because that's Spirit talking to us. And trust me, trust me, trust me. I don't know how many times I'll be driving the car, granted not a lot lately, but I'll be driving the car and all of a sudden, even though I know I'm supposed to only go a mile down the road, I'll turn off and go an alternate route. That is Spirit talking to you. That is your intuition saying, do this. And then when you weave around, you get to your destination, you realize there was a huge wreck there, or a car got stalled and traffic's backed up, right? Always listen to your intuition. And know your clear senses. Know which is your predominant, which are your weakest, work on enhancing them. And so the more you know what your clear senses are and your strongest and weakest ones, the more you know when Spirit's speaking. It's like, ooh, every time I know I'm not supposed to do something, I get sick. I get this sick feeling in my stomach that something bad's going to happen. And every time I ignore it and I go ahead and do it, it doesn't go the way I thought it would go. Something haphazard happens, Murphy Law comes into effect, whatever it is, right? Learn your clairsenses and trust your intuition, because that is Spirit directly speaking to you. So when it comes to visioneering, you have to get clear. You have to get clear what your vision is. What is it you want in your life, in any area of your life? Then you have to know your why. Why do you want that? What does it mean to you? So like Vicki, doing a triathlon at 68, what does that mean to you? What is your why? You're not doing it to please a neighbor. You're not doing it for anyone but yourself. So what is your why? When you see the vision and you've got your why, then you can go through with the other metaphysical tools and use them. And you've got this end goal. You've got this why. You know what you want. So when you start to reverse engineer it, ideas pop in your head. Oh yeah, you could be brushing your teeth tomorrow morning and it's like, oh, on my road to my why, on my road to my vision, I need to do this. This is a baby step. I do that all the time, and I'll run and write a note down or whatever it is. I used to, when we lived in the States prior to moving back here recently, I used to have, it was actually called a shower pad. And it was like this, it looked like almost like a dry erase board. And you had this marker, and when those ideas popped into your head in the shower, right, and you're scrubbing your hair and all of a sudden this idea pops into your head, but if you wait until you're done rinsing your hair, dry off and go outside the shower, it goes away as fast as it came, right? So I used to have this thing called a shower pad that when those ahas came to me in the shower, I could write them down. So think about what your big vision is. Think about what your why is and nail those down because that is key number one step to visioneering. You do that and you marry it with the practical daily baby steps, organizing, planning. It's just like 30, let's see, I've been married 32 years, so 33 years ago when I was thinking about planning a wedding. You don't go from getting engaged to the wedding. You have to figure out all the little things that are needed. So it's the same thing. You're planning your life, you're planning your future today, and you're working on it today because today is the day of action, not tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. So you have to do it today. And then when you wake up in the morning, you have to do it today. And when you wake up in the morning, you have to do it today. Tomorrow is a time that is never going to come because every day when we wake up, it's today. So listen, vision, get excited, get inspired, and that why is what inspires you. That why is why you want it to happen. That why means everything. And then you start the engineering process. Doesn't mean you have to go to college and get an engineering degree. It means that you sit there and you brainstorm. What are the steps I need to take? Then you put them in what you think is the order they need to happen. Doesn't mean it's the order they will happen. It just means for starting purposes, this is the order I think it needs to happen. And then you chunk that first one down and you take off little bite sizes and you take a little step here and you take a little step here. The next thing you know, one's done. The first step that you thought of was done. The second step you thought of was done. And the third step you thought of was done. And instead of waking up like over 80% of the people do by February 1st every year, and their resolutions and their wishes and dreams for that year have just gone by the wayside. And if someone asks, what were your resolutions and what did you want this year to become? What did you want to become this year? What did you want to do this year? And half the time they can't even think about it, what they were. Or I gave up on making resolutions because they don't work. And a big thing I'm hearing right now, which kind of teased me off, just saying, is, well, 2020 is just a throwaway year. I'm just going to watch Netflix and eat bonbons and let me know when 2021 happens. Nope. 2020 is the year of clear vision and opportunity. We've all been given this opportunity to slow down, take notice of what's working for us, what's not working for us, and move forward. Creating those visions, declaring those whys, and saying, this is what I'm going to visioneer. This is what I'm going to manifest. This is what is going to happen today. And when I wake up in the morning tomorrow, it's going to happen again today. Because my why is so freaking awesome that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I achieve it. And yeah, you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have those people that don't want you to accomplish your goals and your dreams and your whys and live the life that you really want to live, because if you can do it, then that makes them realize that they could do it too, but they're not willing to do it, or they're jealous of it, or they don't want to see you succeed. There is a million and one reasons why someone is a naysayer. Someone tells you you cannot do something. Someone tells you, oh, that'll be too hard, or you're too old, or you're not in shape, or, well, you're over a certain age, chances of you getting married and finding the right person for you, or all of that is BS. It's BS. And take it just like you take any other BS and get rid of it. And especially get rid of it out of your head. Because it doesn't matter how old you are, what sex you are, where you're living, if you put your mind to it and you work it, you can achieve it. But if you put your mind to doing something because, well, everyone in the neighborhood said I really shouldn't do that, I should do this instead. No, you should do what you want to do, what you're called to do. They may not be interested in it. I have neighbors here at our new house that aren't interested in anything woo woo whatsoever. Okay, fine. We can still be neighborly, we can still be friendly, but their opinions aren't going to sway me from doing my vision and my whys. A sibling, a parent, a child, it does not matter. A coworker, sorry, my leg itched. A coworker, it doesn't matter who it is. If they are a naysayer, say, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude. I know you have your opinions, and I honor that you have your opinions. But this is my life. This is what I want. This is why I want it. And I'm going for it. Now, you can either be my biggest cheerleader or you could be my biggest naysayer. But it's not going to determine me from achieving what I set out to achieve. A few years ago, when I had my first near-death experience and I was on the other side of the veil, and I was talking with my guides and angels about, well, what would happen if I came back? And one of the things they said is, you're to write a book. If I would have had a facial expression, it had been like, are you out of your freaking mind? Me write a book? Yep, you're going to write a book. Okay. I came back. I studied the publishing industry. I wrote the book, rewrote it, got an editor, rewrote it. And now it's in the publishing process. But when they told me I was going to write that book and why I was going to write the book, they also planted within me the desire to do so. It became part of my calling. It became part of why I'm here. I came back, right? Let's see, what does Vicky say? Oh yeah, age is a number. Age is a number. Half the time when people ask me how old I am, I'll tell them that I'm 15. This is 15 years ago that I died the first time in this lifetime, so I'm 15. Doesn't matter. Your why does give you energy. It gives you stamina. It gives you desire. It gives you drive. It gets you up in the morning to be excited. Now, granted, I've got to have a cup of coffee in the morning before I get really excited, but you know what I mean. It is everything. Yes, 2020 is the time to catch your wave. Your wave. Um, and that's true. Others' opinions of you are absolutely none of your business. There are people that I'm sure have opinions of me that if I heard, I'd cringe, especially when I was younger, right? But that is one advantage we have, Vicki, is we have a few years of experience. We have a few years of developing confidence and getting to know who we are. Because being the daughter of a psychic medium in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 1970s and 1980s, I did everything to deny who I was and to fit in, right? To fit in. I was the cheerleader. I was the synchronized swimmer. I was this. I was that. And I can't say I was happy as a teenager. If someone would offer me $1 million to go back and go through high school again, I'd look at them and say, no, thank you. You can keep your money, right? Now, granted, I did a heck of a lot different than I did back then, but you know what I mean. You know, there's wisdom that you have gained and that I have gained, and the way you look at life in your 20s is not the same way you look at your life in your 40s and your 60s and your 80s. And so that's why you have a lot of very, very big name people that became quote unquote overnight successes, right? In their 50s and beyond. Louise Hay was in her 60s when she created Hay House Publishing. So age is nothing. You can do it. Now, I'm 5'4", so it's not like I'm going to become an NBA basketball star, or even a WNBA basketball star. But I don't have the drive to either. It's not my why. It's not my vision. My vision is to bring everyone in that's seeking that spiritual knowledge and to teach you and to help you create your visions and help you get whatever it is your whys are and manifest them. That's what I love doing. On top of traveling the world, on top of playing with my puppy, on top of visiting with my son when he gets to come visit. So, seriously, this evening, look at what your whys are. What do you want your life to become? What is that 2020 vision? So that, like Vicki said, you can catch your wave of opportunity and surf right in to manifesting those visions and that why. What's your vision and your why spiritually, financially, in relationships with regular people and intimate relationships? What is your why and your reasons and your vision for your recreation and travel, for your health? Think about the different areas of your life, your career, whatever it is. Maybe you've retired and have always wanted to be an artist. and you start painting and you start selling your art. It's not that you first set out to create a new business, but you set out to create pieces of art. And that energy in that artwork transforms to someone else, and they're like, I've got to have this piece of artwork. How much do you want for it? Because everything's an exchange of energy, right? Oh, I see Zoe behind me has woken up from her nap. Anyway, so think about what it is, jot it down. Say, what is it that I want? Why do I want it? And think about each area of your life. And first, you start with those. Then you take one and you say, okay, I'm going to put on my creativity hat and I'm going to decide and I'm going to brainstorm. What would it take to get from where I am today to where I want to be? And you do that for each one. And then you do for baby steps. Because you know what? There's going to be some areas of your life that you're like, I have a vision, I have a why, but it's not calling me like this other area of my life's vision and why is calling me. And you go to those that are calling you first and you tackle them. And as you're working those and as you're using the metaphysics and you're re-engineering and reverse engineering those and you're creating them and manifesting them, you'll see some of your whys of the other things that you wanted, but it wasn't as strong as this one was. Start manifesting also. Doors start opening for them as well. Okay, Athena said, what if you don't even know what your whys are anymore? The first thing I would do is I would sit down and I would put on a piece of paper the different areas of your life. And those areas that are working pretty well and you're pretty much satisfied with, kind of put those to the side at first. But those that aren't, start thinking about, okay, if I had my dream career, what would it be? If I had, what does optimal health mean to me? Because that means different to everyone else. What relationships do I want to have that maybe I don't have right now? What recreational and travel and fun do I wish I had, but I don't? Now, granted, right now, a lot of us are not traveling, but that doesn't mean that you don't declare your why and create your vision, because we're not all going to, I mean, the effects of the pandemic aren't going to be around forever. In your spiritual life, do you feel disconnected? Do you feel connected? Are you inspired? Or are you just kind of feeling day to day with no direction? Just get up every day. So do that, work on those. And if you need help with that, let me know, email me, okay? And I have my free discovery calls. If you go to my website, kellyleesappenfield.com, you can sign up for a free 30-minute discovery call and we can talk about it. Vicky said, Athena, sometimes meditating and dreaming about what life would be like if you could live life on your terms. Exactly. And that's what visioneering is, living life on your terms. Now, that doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen. That doesn't mean that someone's not going to tick you off. That doesn't mean that you're going to have to deal with joys and sorrows. But living life on your terms means you're in the driver's seat. You're not at the back of the bus. I hope this helps. And Athena, I hope that if you're struggling with what your whys are, that you do sign up for a free discovery call and we talk about it, okay? Because you cannot live life uninspired. You've got to be inspired. You've got to be excited. And maybe some of that is you put yourself on hold sometimes for your husband. And maybe some of it is, well, I used to do this, but my drive for that left. And I'm seeking my drive for something new. Whatever it is, it's there. You just have to untap it. You have to get in tuned with it. And you don't have to die to transform like I did in 2005. You do not have to do that. In fact, I'm speaking on that on the 28th of June. It's going to be virtual because of the pandemic. It was going to be in Mountain View, California, but now it's going to be virtual via Zoom. You go to eastwestbooks.org and you can sign up for that on the 28th. And on the 29th, I'm teaching soul vibration and the evolutionary path of your soul, both through eastwestbooks.org. You can go and sign up, go to their event, scroll down, find my name, and you can sign up for them. And they will both be on Zoom. But you don't have to go through a major life overhaul, like dying on a table or a severe illness or a car wreck or anything else to declare your vision and your why. Please, I'd rather you didn't go through what I did to be able to declare it. And I'm sure my husband wishes I had not gone through it the way I had also. Vicky, I died spiritually and emotionally before I started living. A lot of us get to that point to where, okay, and excuse my French here, but this shit ain't happening. I am so done. I'm totally tapped out, disconnected, unhappy, miserable. Something's got to give. And when we reach that point, that's when we really need to start seeking. And seeking can be, when I was really sick, Hay House Radio was fairly new. And I didn't really have the energy to do a lot, but I could sit there and listen, right? I could sit there and listen. And slowly but surely, I started tuning back in to my true self, my metaphysical self, because I'd kind of let that go by the wayside, which did not serve me at all. But I started tuning back into my true self. And by being able to do that, it enabled me to start thinking, okay, why am I here? I'm a wife, I'm a mother, but why am I here for me? And when I started thinking, okay, why am I here? Then I passed over and I got a lot of those questions answered when I was over on the other side. I got a lot of information, but I got some of those questions answered. I had one stipulation for coming back, and that was that I could be healed, that I would not have ITP, be bedridden, and be basically a burden on my husband and my son anymore. And they said, you will be shown the signs on how to heal yourself when you get back. Within 6 months, I was healed. So when you're ready and you're ready for change and you're open to it, it starts coming. It starts coming in ways that you don't expect. And it could absolutely come in a dream, come on a billboard as you're driving down the road, and it doesn't matter who the billboard's for. You're not looking to hire a new plumber, but whatever their catchphrase is the spark that lights the fire, right? It can come, you're watching TV, and all of a sudden someone says a line in the TV show that it's a mundane line to everyone else on the planet, but to you it's like, oh, what was that? When you start seeking and you start asking and you start going into meditation and you're saying, please, please, please show me the signs. And then when you think you see a sign, like the other day, there was 3 squirrels all of a sudden that came up to the window right at me when I was asking a question to spirit. And I'm like, okay, that's a sign. So I went and pulled out Stephen Farmer's book. What does it mean when squirrels show up, right? Whatever it is, at this point, just say, show me, help me, inspire me, give me those aha moments. Let me feel like a little bit of a spark has been ignited, and you will see things really start to happen. Vicki, you said post a link. Do you want a link? Well, I'll put in here East West Books.org, and that's where I will be doing the teaches. And then I will also, after we're done here, I'll put in the comments if you want a free discovery call, and so that you can click on that, go back and click on that and get that. Or you can just go to my website and to the mentor page, and it's on that, and I'll put it in my website here. I think I misspelled my name. You're welcome, Vicki. And even though I was using Athena as an example, this pertains to everybody. We've all had those funky, crappy times in our lives where we just feel despondent. We don't know where to put our next step. But that's the time to start seeking. And it can be, I need a coach. It can be, all I can do is lay here in my bed and go on my computer and go to Hay House Radio and listen, because that's all I can do. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you can afford at this day. If you can afford a coach, get a coach. If you can't afford a coach and you need free inspirational radio like Hay House Radio, then do that. Don't artificially put roadblocks in your way. And we have all been guilty of that. Well, I can't do that, right? There's no way I can do that. I can't afford that. How many times when you said, I can't, could you have replaced instead saying, I'm not willing to? Now, if it comes down to money and you say, I can't afford that, then you're not going to be able to afford it. But if it comes down to money and you say, I don't have that in my bank account at this moment. So, Spirit, show me a way to bring it to me. Show me a way that I can do this. And that can be anything from taking a cruise to hiring a coach to joining a gym to hiring a financial advisor because finances aren't your wheelhouse and you need to get yours in order. It doesn't matter what it is, but instead, every time you hear yourself say can't, stop. I'm not willing to. Even if I could, I wouldn't. And it's my easy excuse, right? Because if I say, oh, I can't do that, and they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we wish you could join us, and you're getting out of whatever you wanted to get out of, right? But stop and think. When you say the word can't, is it a roadblock you're placing in front of yourself? Or is it just that it's something you just don't want to do and you're not willing to do? Like your girlfriend calls you over and says, hey, you want to help me scrub my floors? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm busy all next week. You may not be busy, but you really don't want to go over and get on your hands and knees and scrub your friend's floors for her, right? So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Please, if it's more than what you think, you can shoot me an email or shoot me on a private messenger. Sign up for the free discovery call on my website. If it is in your power to take your vision and to create whatever your mind sets itself upon, and you remember that everything is energy. Everything is an energy exchange. You will start seeing things happen. You have to marry the spirituality with the humanity to create the visioneering that creates the life that you want, that takes your visions and your whys and manifests them. Can't, never could. You're right, Vicki. Can't, never could do anything, could it? Um, you can talk yourself out of anything, but you can talk yourself into anything as well. Chances are you talked yourself into stuff that you wish you hadn't, and you talked yourself out of stuff that you wish you had. It's time to start talking yourself into visioneering the life that you want and catch that wave, catch that 2020 opportunity. Us slowing down at this point, it's given us the greatest probably opportunity of our lifetimes to take stock, declare what we want, and to go for it. I hope this helped. I hope to see you all on Zoom on the 28th and 29th of June. Like I said, go to eastwestbooks.org and you can sign up for either of those. The first one on the 28th is You Don't Have to Die to Transform. And on the 29th is Soul Vibration and the Evolutionary Path of Your Soul. And then if you want the free discovery call, go on my website, kellyleesappenfield.com, go to the mentor page, click the link, and you can sign up right there for the free 30 minutes, if I can speak, right? I hope this finds you well. I hope you have a fabulous evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.